How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shayne, and I'm here to give you my review for Wicked Part 1. It's 2024 Wicked Part 1. Before I go any further, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this one. This movie technically wasn't on my radar because I don't get super hyped about like Wizard of Oz. Hell, I do remember, barely remember technically, The Wiz, with how it's at the time modernizing of songs or coming up with new songs, he's on down the road. Wizard of Oz is one of those things for me. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings, right? I acknowledge you. There are parts of you that I like and I enjoy. Not really my thing. So when, this movie, I don't even know if you can call this I guess this is a movie adaptation of the musical, which is adaptation of the book, which is a adaptation of the original movie. So yeah, but this movie adaptation wasn't on my radar. I had a friend said, let's get, they were going to see Wicked. They came in town, we're going to see Wicked. I was like, I'll go too. It's probably one of the best decisions I ever made. Funny enough, I've seen a bunch of people, friends, not friends, people walking out crying, and it's like I needed it for my soul. And I'm like, all right, this is getting me excited for. I'm wearing green, even though this isn't as dark as the green as I would like it to be, but I'm wearing green for Elphaba because everybody else in this damn world sucks except for Elphaba and the goat. Mr. Dillinger. Oh, poor Mr. Dillinger. And the bear. What was the bear called? I forget what the nanny bear was called, but the nanny bear was cool too. So, background. I already told you about the book. Actually, see, guys, I pull up all this stuff just so I can give you guys the right information. You got the Wicked novel by Gregory Maguire, which is actually part of a series. It's the Wicked Years series, which is Wicked, Son of a Witch, A Lion Among Men, and Out of Oz, which this book was made in 1995, which there are, oh God, I got friends that were born in 1995. So it's only 30 years. And I guess for the younger audiences and younger kids, I guess this would actually kind of be what The Wiz would have been for us. Oh, wow. Kind of weird to think about that, right? And I remember I've heard a couple people say, why is it that they're only focusing on this one and there's a series of books, are they going to do the rest of them? I'm gonna be honest, after this part 1, if part 2 is just as good as part 1, I think they need to go ahead and just do the rest of the books as movies. I don't know how they're going to come up with songs. Perhaps find the folks that did that original musical, which I really wish I had gone in my undergrad college days. I was actually trying to go see Wicked, the musical, sometime last year, but life be lifing, right? There is a shout out, or should I say a guest starring of, by the way, spoilers, of the OG Elphaba and OG Glinda, which is Indy. How do you say her name? Is it Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth? I can say Kristen Chenoweth very easily. Both of them show up during a scene when you're in the Emerald City. As soon as I saw them, because again, haven't seen it, but I know who these people are because that's how big Wicked is. I mean, the song popular. I'm gonna put myself in this for a second. So, and again, I had no interest in seeing this movie, but over the summer, doing some of the work I do, I gotta have some music so you can focus. And I kept hearing popular for some reason that week. I kept hearing that song, and I said, "Screw it, give me this damn song and play this song." Fell in love with the song, and naturally the song that came after that was Defy Gravity. So only 2 songs I knew coming in here. Both of them, I really, really like these 2 songs, and both of those scenes were fantastic, at least for me. And coming in from I'm a musical theater kid, although technically I should be a theater kid, but I like musicals, right? I'm of that Disney generation. So this appeals to me. And there's such a healthy lineage of this series that even with a bare bones knowledge of it, which my friend did point out, the Wizard of Oz story. So watching this kind of helps, because this, man, in terms of like an anime comic book person, this is a villain origin story. A really good villain origin story. It really makes me sit down and go, damn, if this would have came out before like so many other comic book movies, you should steal from this. And just, technically the book did, and the musical did, but you should steal from this. This is how you get somebody to feel sorry for a character, truly. Because I'm still waiting. I'm going to assume that she truly becomes hateable in part 2, because I did not leave here feeling like I hated Elphaba, aka the Wicked Witch of the West. Although, so there's an interesting thing talking about hatred and Elphaba with actress Cynthia Erivo. Now, y'all always tell y'all controversies and stuff behind some of the stuff. She is she Nigerian descent, but she's British, right? And certainly she is not the first black woman to play the Wicked Witch of the West. Actually, in The Wiz, The Wiz, the one who played that was Mabel King. Mabel King technically is the first. And then you have the wonderful Lena Horne, who played the Good Witch, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell, Ted Ross, that star-studded cast. Which, damn, I really wish, if we're gonna do adaptations, hey, Black Hollywood, those of you who aren't Diddyfied, why don't we go ahead and do a remake of The Wiz? I'm just saying. Now that would be, I would probably be first in line to watch that. I digress. After this, yeah, I digress. Just a little bit of controversy with Cynthia. But tweets. It's always tweets, isn't it? Tweets back in 2016 and 2017, really talking down to African Americans. The way we speak. Kind of say we were ghetto and things of that nature. And I only was made aware of the controversy because over in England, the press magazines and the newspapers and everything that's showing Wicked does not show her. It is only showing Ariana Grande. Only her. And she's technically playing the main character of this entire movie. Glenda's technically the supporting actress, or supporting actress role. She is playing the main character, so it's insane. But Ebony magazine picked up the pieces and just completely featured her, which again, and if you're wondering why I'm bringing this up, this movie most definitely speaks to speaks to a large amount of the things that go on in the world, especially today, and speaks to what a lot of folks have gone through, which I instantly understood why people felt the way they did coming out of this movie. Things like this matter. And I only heard about these controversies because when Ebony magazine picked up the pieces, the sisters were there like, well, did she apologize for this? Did she say this and this? I said, wow, you never know. And truly, you never know. This is a teachable moment here. You never know who's going to have your back. You should really watch how you I don't want to say down talk, but talk down, speak ill of anyone or any group, because those could be the people that lift you up. And 9 times out of 10 in the African American community, we tend to pick up the pieces where others will drop them. I mean, England, UK, that stuff is pretty much no different than the United States when it comes to discrimination and not giving people their flowers and their due. So yeah, on that end. Now that I've gotten that part out of the way, let's talk about my take. The effects. Instantly, that opening scene where, you know, the witch is dead. You see the water, you see the hat, you see the sizzle, the flying monkeys, even though technically they look like baboons with monkey tails, because they're supposed to be macaques. But see, even macaques have tails. I don't think macaques have tails, and I don't have time to look that up right now because I got other stuff up here so I can talk to you all. But that looked really good. Just the sweep in, seeing the yellow brick road, the singing and dancing. All of those effects were so good. Even so, I have an issue with a lot of the Disney live action remakes because in my mind, if you're gonna have these things look like actual animals and they're based on a very expressive cartoony thing, make them look more cartoony. Here, that being the opposite plays into its strengths, because you're looking at a goat played by Peter Dinklage, by the way, who through his acting is exhibiting so much emotion, so much sadness, so much rage over the discrimination of animals. And I can't wait to get into that. Over discrimination of animals. And I didn't need cartoony eyes. It's just seeing that, or seeing the nanny bear and feeling the acting through all of that. That was so good. And the acting in here was phenomenal. I hated Glinda's guts. Even just, she is so annoying. And I'm going to try to have some time to talk about different characters later. I just want to run through the general stuff. But I hated her. I felt the plight of Elphaba. It's like, it's kind of hard being a person that looks the way I look to not be able to identify some of what's going on with her. Especially when she had trust in Morabel, someone who should have been able to see things her way. And turns out, no, this is a person that is enabling a lot of these atrocities and enabling was really good allegory for patriarchy. But I'm definitely going to go through that real life stuff later. But acting phenomenal. The music also really, really good. Although the beginning, was it No One Cries? It was No Cries for the Wicked. I can't. You know what? I have this right here. Give me like 30 seconds if I can find that song list. Oh, there we go. No One Mourns the Wicked. Some of Ariana's like singing, like some of her pitches, I couldn't understand what the words she was saying, but all the same, the song was fantastic. Even when you get down to the ones that I knew, like Popular, just seeing how this rendition of it was done, very fun. I already mentioned practical magic effects, and has this. There's so much heart in this movie. There's so much style. Is when you get down to fantasy things, because I'm looking at this as a fantasy movie. You get that there is a world structure. There's a hierarchy. There's so much more I want to understand and get into in this world of, I guess we call it Oz, because when Elphaba's powers went off and she broke that seal that had the wizard on it, behind it was, animals. I see bear, I see looks like a goose or maybe a duck, and it's like, okay, so wait, so were the animals in this world, particularly the rulers, where the magic came from? You got people at these magical academies supposed to do all this magic and stuff. Where does it come from? And the animals speak, which is supposed to be a normal thing here, until they are I guess they're caged. When they start to become caged, that's when they lose their voices. Definitely gonna get into that in a second. But yeah, to like comic anime people, the folks that just, you watch the, I guess I can't really say if you watch the Marvel movies, but watch this. This is worth the watch, especially if you're a writer, fellow writers. Watch this. This is such a good example on if you want to build up a villain to be sympathetic for like another story. This is a good way of doing it. Although, again, I've never seen the musical. I don't know what happens in part 2, what happens in act 2. So does she stay sympathetic this whole time? I don't know, but it's going to have to be a hard turn, because you're rooting for Elphaba the whole way through. The people of Oz suck. Now I'm going to go to my talking points about this movie. And I'm going to do my best to make this 2.5 hour movie not be a 2.5 hour review, just under 30 minutes. Bear with me, please. People suck. They suck bad. You know, I don't really care about the governor's wife really cheating on him. I don't care. What bothers me is who she was cheating on him with, which was very obviously the wizard. Like, his cadence, the way he was moving, lanky figure, much like our homeboy Jeff Goldblum. Very obvious. I get just, at least, you know, if you've watched enough things, you have no deductive reasoning, you could tell that that's her daddy. You could just tell. I didn't really care about, you know, who she was doing it with, because then you look at when the baby's born. I tell you, like, yeah, that's not the governor's kid. When she's born out, when she came out green, he says, take it away. No love for her. Then you get she has hard trauma. She's taking on trauma for things she didn't even cause, because he doesn't know that his wife was dipping with the Oz man. He had her mother take, was it milk flour, when she was born with her sister Nessa, and because that she was born too early and her legs didn't work, so now she's in a wheelchair. Now it's just insane, one, but two, even Nessa is a bit of a jerk, right? You get the feeling, you kind of feel bad for her, because you got the guy Bach, who asked her out at the behest of Glinda. She's Galinda at this time. You can kind of tell she didn't really. She's used to being treated differently because of her being in this paraplegic state. But at the same time, she's still mean to her sister. It's like, oh, why do you always do this? That should be the one person, like, you understand and have her back. I don't know. Nessa rubbed me the wrong way, because Nessa seems very flawed on the inside. And that's another thing, if we're going to talk about people in Oz sucking. Twice it's been said that Nessa is tragically beautiful. Meaning, oh man, you're so beautiful, but it's so tragic you're in this wheelchair. Why? Her and her sister are both like, there's nothing wrong with her. She's just in a different circumstance than other people. And it was so uncomfortable to watch the headmistress. I forget who that pleasantly plump lady was. I'm guessing she was a headmistress or whatever. You know, her going, oh no, I'm gonna take care of you right away and push this, and you know, she can do it herself. She wants to do it herself, which I would understand that's what most people who go through that, who are pelagic or paraplegic, they say, I can do normal things. I don't need to be pitied. But here it is in Oz. And let's get down to everyone treating Elphaba like crap. Now, you get it with kids, right? Because kids, when you're a kid, other kids suck. You know, then her Jedi powers come in and she's throwing the rocks at them, which they deserved. But she's so used to people asking about that green skin. She's like, no, I didn't eat grass as a kid. Yes, I was born this way. XYZ. To the point where the one person who didn't really give a shit that she was green, Furio? Prince Homeboy. We're going to call him Prince Homeboy. Who didn't really care about her being green. It was kind of like I don't want to say it startled her. I'm trying to find the best words for it. It was, she wasn't used to that until later on, after they rescued the lion cub. We said, well, you just let somebody else talk. And she's used to having to speak up for herself and constantly have to overspeak because so many people push her down and so many people try to silence what she says, which can also be seen when just not just women, but black women. Yeah, this movie crosses so many lines, so much intersectionality. But yeah, they look down on her for being green, but then I'm clocking in this group. This is a very inclusive movie. There's, people of Asian descent. You got obviously gay characters in here. You have the two besties of Galinda, a gay character and a larger plus size woman, and they're all teasing Elphaba, and it's like, but wouldn't people normally tease you all instead? Which it plays into one of these messages of when there is someone that is so much different than everyone else, they can focus on that person, but then what happens when everybody else is gone? What else about these people suck without going directly into the specific character moments? One of the scenes, I won't lie to y'all. Two scenes in this movie did get a tear from me. Wasn't boo-hoo, but it did. Got me good, and I'll get into that in a second. So let's just talk about these ties to the real world, especially in scenes. And this movie succeeded. So the reason why I'm liking this movie so much, because it got me to cringe. You got me to cringe. It was stuff that was pissing me off. And it's not just the Galinda scenes. It's the I don't see color. When Galinda offers to help Elphaba when she undoubtedly becomes, great and powerful, she's going to help her with her problem. She's like, who said I need help? I don't need your help. And although being rid of her green skin is what Elphaba would have wanted her wish to be granted from the great and powerful Wizard of Oz, towards the end we see her going, nah, I don't need this. We need to address the animals, right? The don't see color thing, it's if you don't see color, then you ignore the struggles that other people go through, and you try to erase their culture and pretend that it doesn't exist. That's not a flex. People feeling themselves too much, or thinking too highly of themselves. Galinda, throughout most of this damn movie. Now, you have the funny hair flips. Initially, I thought the funny way of speaking in Oz, this is, courageousliciosis, or they would just add extra stuff on there, which, now that I think about it, sound like Jeff Goldblum isms, but it wasn't just her, it's the entire world. But she's so full of herself. Even in that opening scene, aren't you glad to see me? Or she says things so confidently that are so stupid. Like, oh, strangers are just people I haven't met yet. You mean strangers aren't friends that you've met yet? Because I've heard that before, but what you're saying is just the obvious. She's so damn annoying. And the biggest one, which again plays into not just the history of all time, but deeply in the history of our country, if you're watching this in the USA, in our country, is things were going to hell in Oz, and things were crumbling, and things were going to go into chaos once more. So the wizard said, well, where I come from, if you give people a common enemy, that's how you fix everything. And throughout our history, that is what happened. I mean, one of the famous parable, and you can see it on the picture, got a black man, got a really rich white guy, and you have a poor white guy who's on the same level as the black guy, and they got cookies. Dude, all the cookies is holding it like this, and tells the white guy who has one cookie, hey, that guy's trying to steal your cookie, while the black guy has no cookie, and the rich guy is reaching over to take that guy's cookie. You give people a common enemy, and you make them feel better than that person, or just make them feel they are better than that individual or that individual group, and it goes, oh, well, yeah, it's their fault all this stuff is going on. I love how, seeing the story of how, like, the animals, they start to lose their voice. They become unable to speak while they were scholars and singers and all sorts of things within this world before the wizard shows up. I'm actually surprised no one put two and two together to go, yeah, no, the animals started getting blamed for a lot of stuff after this guy shows up, which it is fascinating that I don't know the timetable. Like, the wizard is very obviously older, but how long has he been there? Does being in Oz, stretch out your life expectancy? Are these people like living for hundreds of years? Because it's as if he's been there for a long time. That he has gotten to a point of being like a God emperor like character. And he's also pretty much an allegory for patriarchy, and those who fall in line. Again, Morabelle. You're first of all, dude can't read from this magical book, and the scene where we have Indina and Chenoweth, and they're telling this backstory. When he says, yes, I see. He didn't say it. He just says, oh yeah, I see this book. You have a guy who is not qualified running all of this stuff. And then this woman comes up who can read some of it. She's still falling in line with this guy, probably because of the promises of power, of wealth. Even Glenda slash Galinda's, I don't know whether I should call it an issue or plight. She's so used to things being one way. Elphaba, why won't you just fall in line with this? Because you could get everything you ever wanted. Everything I want comes at too high of a price morally. Which everything she ever actually just wanted was, to be able to live peacefully and not have the animals be mistreated, where the animals were the only ones to actually treat her well. Indeed. So let's talk about those two scenes. The one scene that got me is after she's given this hat as a cruel joke by Galinda, after she told Morabelle to put her in the classes with her and tutor her, because her sister was so happy that she found her a guy, right? She puts the hat down, does this strange dance, full of tears, and puts the hat back on. It's like, without this is who I am. With this is who I am. And it really makes me think back to like being in like 5th grade, where like I initially was not into Pokemon until someone brought me in. And then someone brought me in, and that same person joined everybody else with dissing it and making fun of people who played it, because that was like the end thing. So everyone's making fun of her, and I was like, damn, I feel this. I feel that emotion coming from you. And what further my little tear is Galinda steps up and pushes past the people, say, no, I'm going to do this strange dance with her and make her feel like she has a community. So then gets everybody else to do it. That part, I didn't care about everybody else doing it. It was the sadness of her, like, this is who I am, period. And then someone coming in and like, yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to be like that with you. That was good. You got me on that one. And then Defy Gravity. My goodness. I always knew that this was like an empowering song, right? Just listening to it or watching that lyrics video. I'm going to put them lyrics videos. I'm going to find them, put them down there. Most of you all who are watching this probably already know those songs anyway, but I'm going to do it anyhow. I have gained it. I didn't even know my respect for that song could go further beyond, because seeing the song in context of that entire scene, the back and forth of, I hope you're happy, you're messing up everything. And then it goes into, well, I hope you're happy. I actually hope you're happy. You're going to do things your way. You're going to break from these chains, from what people say is right, even though we all know it's wrong. And be your own person, not be shackled. Wrong thing. Not be shackled down. Fantastic. There was towards the end, that last scene of her with the cape full in effect. As a matter of fact, when I was doing my novel research, where's that scene? That last scene was supposed to be a nod to an effect they do in the theater, and I think it's called the cherry pick effect. Where is that? Yeah, the cherry picker effect, where you hoist the actress up, you have everything flowing, and that's how you close out that entire scene. That was great, and just a gentleman had cheered. Most of us clapped, because that was fantastic. The song was great. That's like one of the best ways to end. If you're going to end something on a part, end it on that. Like, it's sad yet empowering. That was really good. That was really, really good. And, I think most of the theaters, at least AMC, were telling people don't sing. And I'm not gonna lie, I heard even the person I came with was singing. I heard folks singing. They weren't singing loudly, but people like, yeah, these are our songs. I'm gonna say a little bit, and then I'm gonna stop. And it is what it is, right? So I'm gonna talk about some extra stuff here. Does Galinda actually hate Elphaba at the beginning of this movie? Before going the present, before going into the flashback. And it really does speak to Ariana Grande's acting, that I could see the pain look on her face. That's just, she's seeing the Wicked Witch propaganda, and they gave her the torch to burn the witch thing down. It's like, burn it, and it's being burnt, right? And you can just see the pain looking at someone that says, you were friends with her, right? And even before that, when she's giving a breakdown of how she came to be a little bit before she leaves or attempts to leave. I like seeing that. It's really good acting. It's really, really good acting. But damn, Galinda's so annoying though. Fierio, there we go. Fierio, I enjoyed when he runs into Elphaba, doesn't give a shit that she's green, and then he finally comes into the school, causes a muck, causes chaos, but there's such subtlety, especially in that scene. I liked how, you have Baku's from Munchkin Town, the Munchkin folks, the folks that are shorter than others. When all the books are falling for and Bak goes down to pick it up, dude goes, don't do that. You don't need to bend down and pick that up. Get your ass up. I like that. I peeped that. And the thing that Elfie had peeped was, perhaps he didn't fall asleep by her sleep spell. I don't know if it was because of the scratch, but I assumed it's because there was some type of genuine connection there, that he was not as shallow as the others, that he would actually try to help and do something, help her to do something. Which, yeah, he instantly like, all right, let's get this lion cub out of here, right? She said, "You're sad like I am. I can tell that you're sad." Which, you better watch out, Galinda. She gonna take your man. I already mentioned the flying monkeys. I really like the flying monkeys. I just don't know when. I guess they're gonna change sides in the second part, because flying monkeys was the Wicked Witches. That was her folks, right? Eventually they're gonna have a conversation. She's gonna be like, look, I'm trying to free the animals here. They took my goat friend. They up here locking y'all in cages. Roll with me, and we gonna beat up that old man, who she doesn't know is her dad. Also, was it the Dragon Timekeeper, or was it the Timekeeper Dragon Clock mentioned in the beginning? Is that actual character? Am I going to see a dragon in part 2? Please tell me I'm going to see a dragon in part 2 and not just a clock. And they just mentioned a clock. Please tell me there's a dragon in this series. I like dragons. I already talked about Nessa. I already talked about Milk Flowers. Man, I know I spoke earlier about the animals being silenced, but that's such a great symbol there, when it's like, when you're being shackled down, you won't be able to speak anymore, and it's like you're being reduced to almost a primal sense of self, where they're just trying to survive. And then the introduction of the invention of cages. That is insane, that cages were not a thing until dumbass wizard shows up, where, yeah, we believe you put them in these cages, they won't even learn how to talk, which again is kind of a reflection of our society, with the issues, the patriarchy, systemic racism. It's when you put when these things are in a system to stop people from doing things that everyone should be able to do. When the new generation is born into that, they don't realize what they're missing, and that's sad. That's why you need an Elphaba that's going to stand up for you, especially since those folks stood up for her. Those were the ones that were always beside her. So this movie's good. This movie's damn good. If you haven't been paying attention, I think my score is pretty obvious. It's a 5 out of 5. This might be the best movie I've seen this year. But I still haven't seen Gladiator 2 yet. And probably going to see Gladiator 2. And I haven't seen Sonic 3. That movie's not going to be better than this. Like, come on, let's just be real. That's not going to be better than this. But this is a 5 out of 5. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I hit it all on the head? Did I do a good job, Wicked fans? Let me know, seriously. But no, Nessa sucks. No, she really does suck. Like, everyone sucks in this movie but Elphaba. And even Galinda, you were so close. You were so close to getting the point. You were so close. And then she hugged Morabelle at the end. I'm like, is this out of like trauma? And she has a character turn there. She does turn. She's like, I can't go with you, but you know, I hope you're happy, right? God, the people in Oz suck. I digress. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more stuff like this, more reviews like this. I have my Patreon link in the description below. Go ahead, whatever you donate, it's much appreciated. Trying to boost up this channel. Got to give y'all. I got stuff in the pipeline. Just gotta slowly get there. Again, let me know what you think. Did you like it? If you did like it, what was your favorite scene? My favorite scene. Damn, I think that whiz dust or that dance hall, that the opening scene and Defy Gravity. Popular was very. I enjoyed that, but I think Defy Gravity is probably the best scene in this movie. Damn. I digress. Let me know. Please be good, be blessed. I hope you've had a good holiday weekend. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're staying safe out there. Be good to yourself and be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. All right? Don't be a person of Oz unless you're Elfie. Don't be a person of Oz. All right? Until next time, guys, remember, there are people out there that care about you. The holidays can be rough, so reach out to someone, talk to someone. There are people out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Until next time, I'll see you. Well, I got a couple of show reviews I got to do. I got to catch up, but I'll see you on the flip side. And remember, you too can defy gravity.